Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews the movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 541, and we are here to commence Wong Kar-wai Month as we talk about his 1994 film, Chungking Express. As always, it is the nerd you're going to hear to host the show, alongside my wonderful co-host, Brad Young Yoda, who was in here twice. I don't understand exactly how that happened, Brad, but what's up?
So what's up, everybody? Y'all did not see that.
You can tell there's something happened when Brad just smiles that gives that like I don't know what the fuck just happened smile like
But, I don't know technology, yo. I don't.
technology,
I
man.
don't know. I don't know what's going on, bro.
Oh man, but yes, we are going to be starting our one card wine month here. It will be going on throughout the month of January. Just that we had to catch up a little bit this week, so I hope you all have enjoyed our couple of episodes that we've done this week. You've been able to listen to our TAR episode, our top 10 of 2022, and our final review of Agnes Varda month, Jaco de Nantes. I hope you all have enjoyed those episodes, and this will be the last one of this week. You have gotten 4 episodes this week, so I'm really sorry. You're not used to that, but we need to do this to catch up.
And before we go any further, Kylie, this is a pre-recording.
Pre-recording.
Kylie, this is a pre-recording.
Pre-recording.
It's a
Next week,
pre-recording, Kylie.
we'll be back. On Thursday, we are going to be live because right now, the way we're doing this, y'all, is that Monday's theme reviews go live on Patreon on Sunday for a day early before what's it called? It goes to the public on Monday. So we'll be doing pre-recordings of those. So on Thursday is when you're going to be able to get to see us live as we talk about our second review of the week, which
Along
next week,
along with Friday and
Saturday and
Saturday and
Sunday.
Sunday for
Yeah,
live shows. So we will be live. It's just Mondays. We're doing
Mondays.
pre-recordings now. Give us a little
Yeah.
extra time.
Also, if I want to go see a movie, or if I want to go
Exactly,
see
because
Megan,
bro likes to ruin like our fucking times.
shut up, Brad. If I want to go see Megan, um,
What?
yeah, you haven't seen the
Is that a
trailer for
movie?
Megan, Brad, about the android who is like who can be your best friend.
I'd rather not.
It's one of the Blumhouse films. It's produced by James
Oh
Wan.
god. Yeah.
That
Oh
says
god. I
everything
can
you need to
already.
know.
Yeah, I can already see that just going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. But Brad, before we get into any of this, Brad, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Went to work. That's about it right now. Had Taco
That's
Bell.
about all right.
Yeah.
All
So
right. I
that's
just want
about
to
it.
say, Brad, what's it called? Congrats, Brad. You were able to watch two movies this week. What's it called?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. It
And
helped that Tar was you had watched Tar a while ago,
yeah, I
but
watched
yeah.
Tar a while ago, but I did watch this movie. Not yesterday, but the day before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It real. And I gotta admit, like, it's been a good week for movies.
Been a good week for movies, right, Brett? Tar, Jaco, this one,
Yeah.
and then yeah, we'll be pre-recording our review on Saturday of Ashes of Time. By the way, guys, I have not seen Ashes of Time, so I'm really
Time after
interested to
time.
see. But Brad, I just went to work. That's it for me
Yeah, I
too.
mean I feel you.
Yeah,
Feel you.
um, I went to work. I gave my friend who's going to be modeling for me on Sunday for a shoot that I'm doing. What's it called? I give her the dress that she needs. So all that is done. And yeah, I pretty much just watched this movie too. So I ain't got much to say, y'all.
I
Um,
mean, and apparently there's people out there who don't like the banter, so
yeah, but
yada yada
who
yada.
cares? We do 5 minutes of banter so that we can. You guys don't understand. I don't talk to Brad on this throughout the day.
Yeah.
This is literally the time we get to talk to each other. So I would like for these podcasts to mimic two friends talking about a movie with each other when they see each other at night. Come on, man.
I mean, it's only 5 minutes, so if y'all feel really like strongly for that,
Just get 5 minutes.
just skip 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah. But I'm really excited, y'all. This is my month because last year Brad did a dog month, which was pretty good too. But this month I decided I really wanted to introduce Brad to, well, not introduce Brad, but continue Brad on his journey of watching the films of Hong Kong filmmaker Wong Kar-wai, because we started his journey with the Grandmaster, and I told Brad, especially in that review, I was like, Brad, that is not what he's known for. This movie is completely not what he's known for. What he saw today is what he's known for. This is the stuff that Wong Kar-wai blew up with, especially this movie here. Uh, this movie also, we have to thank Quentin Tarantino for this, because if Quentin Tarantino didn't fall in love with this movie in 1994, he would have never brought it over to the United States, but from Miramax, because
Yeah, and if you read Roger Ebert's review of this, Roger Ebert does mention Tarantino introducing this to everyone.
yep, he fell in love with this movie, man. But yeah, guys. So I'm really excited to get Brad to watch some of these films, especially some of my, because some of these are my favorite films of all time. Some of these are films that I feel they influence me as a filmmaker as well, and they influence the style that I'm trying to pursue. But of course, without a further ado, Brad, because they're not used to 6 minutes of banter, let's go ahead and get this party started, Brad.
Let's
So,
get it started in here.
and you will stop there because of copyright. So, without further ado, if you have not seen Chungking Express, this is your chance to get out of here if you haven't seen it, or if you care about spoilers. But if you don't, or you already seen the film, like myself, who's seen it like about 5 times, I believe, which also reminds me, I forgot to log that into Letterbox a couple of minutes ago. But I've seen this a couple of times. So if you're not like me, or you don't care about spoilers, stick around. Either way, how any of that goes, Brad, this is their one and only spoiler warning. And it is in effect in a five, four, three, two, one. There you go. So it's up. This time I didn't forget. This time I didn't forget, Brad.
Yep,
Look it
yep.
up. Yeah, I
Got
did.
a banner right there.
Yeah.
Scrolls.
So I'm going to read here from Wikipedia, y'all. So strap in, because they do not disrespect the man known as Wong Kar-wai. They actually give him a good amount of reading here. So Chungking Express is a 1994 Hong Kong romantic comedy drama film written and directed by Wong Kar-wai. The film consists of two stories told in sequence, each about a lovesick Hong Kong policeman mulling over mulling over his relationship with a woman. The first story stars Takeshi Kaneshiro as a cop obsessed by his breakup with a woman named May and his encounter with a mysterious drug smuggler, Bridget Lin. The second stars Tony Leung, if you all may know him if you watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings last year. As a police officer, roused from his gloom over the loss of his flight attendant girlfriend, Valerie Chow, by the attentions of a quirky snack bar worker, Fei Wong. Chungking in the title refers to Chungking mansions in Simsai Shu. I think that's how you say that. Hong Kong, where Wong grew up in the 1960s. Express refers to the food stand Midnight Express, located in An Kwai Fong, an area in central Hong Kong. In 2022, the film appeared at number 88 on the decennial Sight and Sound Critics poll of the greatest films of all time. Written and directed by Wong Kar-wai, produced by Chun Yukan, Jeffrey Lau. Cinematography is done by Christopher Doyle and Andrew Lau. Brad, this is cinematography that's done by the same man who worked with Edward Yang on That Day on the Beach. And edited by William Chong, KQY, Kwang Xiu Long. Music is done by Frankie Chan, Roy Garcia. And it sits at an hour and 38 minutes, and no budget here to report, y'all, but it did make $600,200. $600,200 in the United States, and in Hong Kong, it made 7.65 local currency, because I don't know what the currency is in Hong Kong. But with that said, that's all I have to read. Brad, I'm gonna go with you first because I've seen this movie 5 times now. I think it's been 5 times, 4 times. Um, this time I decided to opt out and watch the old restoration of this movie, and I want to hear from you first, though. Brad, what are your initial thoughts on Chungking Express?
So just to start, I did watch the alternate version because that's the first one that popped up on Criterion. So I was
Okay,
like,
so you
okay,
watched the old restoration.
well, whatever
Yeah,
alternate version is. So I watched
alternate
that.
version is the old restoration.
Yeah, so I watched that. Still looked great. I mean, honestly, um, I I want to say I really like the film techniques he used in this, like that blur motion technique, especially through the first story.
Mm-hmm.
That blur technique was pretty awesome. I actually really loved the story of the first story of that. It's just the only thing I really have against this on my first watch, and it won't happen again in like a second, third, fourth, fifth watch, is you don't realize there's two stories in this movie. Like, like, like he makes it known. So I'll give Wong Kar-wai that he makes it known there's two stories in this movie, but you have to be really paying attention to it. Otherwise, you're kind of like what happened to the like all the drugs and the you know
The girl with
the
the
drug
blonde wig.
smuggler and the what happened to all that, and you were thrown in this whole another story that's about a cop and basically a barista, and that whole thing. And I was sitting there like, these stories have no correlation other than this one dude like got a drink here. That was about it. Um, so it was really, that part was really confusing to me. It's just there's two separate stories in this, but other than that, I mean, cinematography is great. The stories are very well done, especially the first story. Like I really enjoyed that first story. Then it had like good humor in it. Like the guy jogs over the place, so like he sweats instead of cries, and I'm like, that's not how any of that works, bro.
I had to cry, dog. You know, I
And
had to
then
cry.
he's buying expired or almost expired
Pop
pineapples
apple, and
because
then he
his
throws
ex
up.
girlfriend is named May, and I'm like, yeah, I've been there, so
And
I
mind
get
you,
it.
he throws it up.
Yeah, yeah, he throws up at a bar, so I'm guessing whiskey and expired
Pineapple.
pineapple doesn't go well. But yeah, that first story, like I mean, I wish he could have just expanded kind of on that first story because I was really wondering what happened to this woman. I think I know what happened to this woman. She
She
did get a
left.
plane ticket the day before, so she probably got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
That's but this woman literally ran through like a whole city block shooting people and was not apprehended at all and nothing. And was even like take like she got drunk with a cop and like taken to a hotel room where
Yeah.
she promptly fell asleep. Uh, but yeah, this is an enjoyable film. I liked it. Like you don't even sense the runtime really.
Yeah. It's very much an experience. I was gonna say they did my boy dirty breaking up with him on on April Fool's Day.
On April
And he
Fools,
gave her and he
but
gave her a month to see if
but
it was a joke.
this had like one of the best moments I think I've seen in a film is when this guy is you can tell like he's hurting. And it's his birthday and he was just gonna leave like his beeper there because he's like, nobody's gonna call me on my birthday.
Yeah.
And just this random woman like that he took to a hotel room and she fell asleep as he ate four salads and whatever the else that dude ate. That dude was eating. But it's probably because he jogs a lot. And she calls him on his birthday, and he's just like, it's literally in the tagline. If my memory of her has an expiration date, let it be 10,000 years. Like that. That's
Yeah.
it. Like, yeah, he'll never forget that phone call on his birthday when he thought no one cared.
Yeah. Yeah. Um so I've seen this film about 4 to 5 times now. This movie is just atmospheric in every way possible. The way that Wong Kar-wai is able to take two separate stories and just link them through the idea of like this shared human connection of wanting to be with the right person, but having to wait because in our first story, does he meet the right person? We don't know, but we don't know if he'll ever get with her because
Yeah.
what's it called? She she's obviously not ready for him. In the second story,
Or he's not ready for her.
yeah.
I
In the
mean,
second story,
yeah.
yeah. He wants to go. We see the continuation of what would have probably happened to the cop in that one is that she wasn't obviously ready for him. She goes to what's it called, kind of explore and like take this time, take a year to really understand herself. Comes back, and you can tell from that ending that it's like, yeah, we're gonna be together. We're like,
For
I'm
the most
ditching
part,
this
yeah.
joint. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you could
ditching this joint. Like we're out.
I like when he brought out that boarding pass that she
Yeah,
had drawn up before, you knew right then, like, that's it. She's smitten. Like, that's
yeah.
all she needed. He actually
Just
opened
also
the
to
letter.
remind y'all, what's it called? I'm not gonna say girls because it could be dudes too. And it's something that important. They are not going to forget a whole year later. They are not going to forget.
Mhm.
But I love this movie. I love Christopher Doyle's what's it called, the cinematography. And then there's I can never
Can
remember his name correctly,
can I just
but
say I like the color grading in this film?
oh yeah,
It's
Oof.
very noir-esque,
Yeah.
this whole movie to me, and just the color grading helps that.
And you see what's it called Wong Kar-wai begins his career in '88, bro, by making As Tears Go By. At the time in Hong Kong, basically the most famous movies were crime thrillers, in the style of noirs. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to
Yeah.
make one that was like a crime thriller, but he wanted to keep the swagger and romanticism that he loves and he wanted to explore. And he kind of does that throughout his whole career, except for stuff like In the Mood for Love 2046 and stuff like that. But in this one, there's just this inherent swagger to this movie. Like it's like, and if I can what's it called, explain it in any way, is that this movie is sexy as fuck. Like this movie is beautifully created, and it's like even the stuff like the step printing, which by the way, Brad, the way he does that is actually really interesting. You take because now all you need to do is just like isolate layers and what's it called, like reduce frame rate on the computer and stuff. Back then in the world
Mhm.
of film, he basically took one part, one frame of the film, put it on top of the other one, put it on top of the other one to reduce that
Mm.
rate there. Because, of course, if we remember, cinema is 24 frames per second. So you have 24 of those frames, what's it called, to create one frame. 24 of those to create 1 second of cinema. He basically took them, put them on top of each other to kind of reduce that frame rate
And
and
is
make
that where
that
you get that visual of
like
the yeah,
yeah,
the motion
yeah,
blur is what I like to
yeah,
call it.
yeah. Step printing is the technical term of it, but yeah, and dude, it looks so freaking
It really
good.
does. Like that was the first thing I really like got a hold of me on this film was that motion blur when it comes out. But you're right, this film does come off very sexy.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly, especially in the first story, it's your main actress there.
Oh
Like
yeah.
just full raincoat, glasses, blonde hair. She just fucking looks cool,
Yeah.
and she's just a badass like feminine person in this film,
Yeah.
and she's literally running a show trying to keep this whole thing going, and then someone screws her over, and then at the end of it she takes him out and she gets away with like killing like three people throughout this film.
Yeah. Now
Like,
that
it's
kidnaps a
fucking
girl, a
cool.
little girl, kidnaps a little girl, doesn't actually do anything to her,
Yeah, she
buys her
feeds her
ice
ice
cream.
cream. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
but
she
but
knows, like,
but let's be real here. Had that dude not come through, she would have killed that girl.
yeah, she was gonna kill her. Yeah. But she knew that that was enough to get him there.
Yeah.
And yeah, god, like honestly, what's it called? I love the second half of this film, the second story, but like there's just for you to open it up with that, it's just like, oh, like that just to me is like it perfectly sets the tone of this very like paced out, very like what's it called, stylistic film. And when we get to our second story, you have like an incredible performance from Tony Long, who sometimes y'all, when you're looking at these films from Wong Kar Wai, Tony Long doesn't even have to say a word. He says it all with his fucking eyes, man.
Hmm.
His eyes are what are is doing the acting for him. Um, I do love what's it called, Fei Wong's rendition of "Dreams" by the Cranberries. I was like, at first, I remember when I first watched this film, I was like, oh, the Cranberries, and then it's like, oh no, this is in Cantonese. This is in fucking English. Um, I like Fei Wong's performance too. Um, I do love the what's it called,
California.
I do love the beginning in the beginning of the second story when he's like, "Oh, you like what's it called, loud music and stuff," and she's like, "Ah, like louder, better,
Like
right?" And he
what?
goes, and then he goes, "What's it called? What do you like?" She asks him like, "What do you like?" And he just comes in and he's like, "Chef salad." Fucking
And just
asshole.
walks out. And that's when she was hooked.
Yeah, she was hooked. She's like, "Chef salad." Chef. I still don't actually know what a chef salad is, Brad. Um.
It's the ham and egg. That's a chef salad.
Oh.
That's a ham and egg. It's just that's what a chef salad is.
Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, Brad, I also have to agree with you. The coloring is fantastic in this movie. Of course, we've seen what's it called. It's because that day on the beach is like it's the same cinematographer, but it's a lot more of a restrained Christopher Doyle compared to this movie. Because in this
Hmm.
movie, you can tell that Wong Kar-wai is like, no, 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 no. Let's get it from this angle, dude. Like, look at the way this is. Like, let's work with that. And obviously, his lighting techniques that he uses in this one are very different. And
Well, there's a lot of areas that's natural lighting, like
yeah,
where and especially in the second one where they're in the apartment, and then I don't know, he's right close to like an airport. That's
yeah,
or like a walkway, a moving walkway, and you just get that natural lighting coming from there. It's like a really cool look.
yeah. I love that part where she's going up the what's it called, the escalator, I think. And what's it called? Her image kind of reflects on the side of the escalator right there, and
Hmm.
it's kind of warped as well. And it's just, oh god, just this movie, man. I really love this movie. I love the idea of him like exploring what's it called, the memory of romance, and how we what's it called, remember like, oh, the one that got away, and like the one who what's it called, that we weren't ready for, but what's it called, we come back to, and it apparently works out. And I don't know. I was just I fell in love with this movie again. I always fall in love with it every time I watch it.
Do
But
you think so this is a beat cop that's just on there
yeah,
who literally buys a restaurant. And I really think in some part, like deep down, he bought that restaurant waiting for her because he knew
yes,
she would return to that spot.
because the boarding pass said that it was for 1 year later.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he did. That's
yeah.
what the cop did. Um, I was also going to say that. So it's interesting that you say how you got confused, Brad. And it's like this movie was originally going to be three stories. Three stories. One of the stories is actually in his next film, Fallen Angels.
Hmm.
And
I think I read that somewhere.
yeah, and that story could not feel any more different from what was going on in this one. And especially if you like, we're not going to cover Fallen Angels this month, but if I would we might want to bring it up for like an international month, because if you like the crime feeling of this one,
Hmm.
fuck man, Fallen Angel takes the noir to the next freaking level in that movie.
I mean, I was really feeling that first story and that noir effect. Like I was really enjoying that, and
Yeah,
then it just like abruptly just kind of ends, and you get into
yeah,
the more romantic story, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Where did all like the where'd all the drug smuggling and the shooting and the gangster fucking go? I got a
yeah.
cop here eating soup and carrying vegetables.
Yup. Yep, and then what's it called later? Some random girl that he meets is cleaning his apartment all the time. Like Wong Kar
But
Wai.
well, can I just say when she first started this, I literally thought she was just fucking with him. She would
No,
change the cups. She would change shit. She would move shit. She literally changed the big white polar bear thing to Garfield. And
Yeah.
like, and I'm sitting there going, this woman is trying to cause this man to go insane. Because that's what I would start to think, because nothing in my house is the same. I would start to
Though
think, but it's so slightly different that I'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
though that cop is terrible at his job and
Yeah,
he would be getting robbed day in day
I
out.
love it. I love it because he literally mentions, I think I'm getting better at like noticing things.
No, you're not. Because
As
it
he's
took
literally talking to the big giant Garfield, and he's like, "Oh, where did you get these scar marks?" And I'm just like, "Is this dude for real, dude? You had a big white fluffy fucking dog."
if Fei Wong wouldn't have been there when you opened the door, I'm pretty sure he would have brushed off the fucking apartment getting flooded.
Yeah, probably. He's like, "Oh, I must have left that on." It's like, "No, you fucking didn't, dude."
No, you
And then
didn't,
what was she
dog.
doing with the fish? Did
Yeah,
she just keep adding fish?
yeah. She just keep adding you fish.
That's what I'm saying. At
She was
first,
doing
when I
too
was
much,
watching
bro.
this, I'm like,
She's doing too much.
she's literally trying to cause this man to go insane, because she was like, because when you said like she was like cleaning his area and stuff, she kind of was with the newspapers and shit. But
Mm-hmm.
like the bed, she changed like the bedspread and everything, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
the
Though
what is she doing?
I want to just say a special fuck you to the ex because okay, so it's okay. You want to break up with me? Cool.
But leave your shit,
But you are not going to see me at the convenience store, walk
and then have
out
me
and
pay for
say,
your shit.
hey, just pay for it.
Yeah, did in your mind did you go, this dude's a fucking huge cuck? Because I would have been like, fuck you.
In 1994, Brad, where I can't send a Venmo request to this girl
Yeah,
and say,
yeah.
nah, you're
No,
gonna
no,
pay me my
and it's not
$2.
even. It's not like you're putting it into a kind tone. The dude she's getting railed by is on his bike outside looking at them,
Exactly. It's like, nuh-uh, go out there, call your man to come in here and
and
pay
pay
for
for your
you.
shit.
Because I ain't gonna pay for it. Like, that part angers me every single time, Brad. And
No,
it's like,
because we're of the mindset, we're like, fuck you.
fuck no, no. And he just sits there and he's like,
He's just like, oh, okay,
in his
yeah.
mind, I would like to believe that, that cop has already realized that he's moved on from her. And in my mind, I think that he's sitting there and be like, yeah, that's kind of why I probably should have broken up with her before. Like I was just infatuated with this woman and I was in love with the idea
I
of her.
mean, granted, gorgeous woman for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
gorgeous, but yeah.
But
But at the same time, you ain't cucking me over like that.
and also, what's it called? Cool. You want me to just throw your shit away? Happily, I will. You just told me to throw it away. Okay,
Yeah.
you said it, not me. But you are not about to be like, yeah, go ahead and pay for my stuff. No, I'm not. I'm not.
No. I'd be like, yo, store owner, they just robbed your ass.
Yeah.
Here's their info.
Or next time they ask for pineapple, give them the expired cans.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that whole dialogue with the fucking clerk.
Oh yeah. What is
And
what
clerk's
you
like,
don't?
you can have all the fucking expired shit you. I'm just doing
I
my
work
job, bro.
here. I just work here. Which, by the way, that is anybody who works retail, bro. It's really like I
I
just
mean,
work here, bro.
that was a clerk's moment
Yeah.
for
I just
sure.
fucking work here,
I
bro.
just fucking work here, bro.
But yeah, I fall in love with this movie every single time I watch it. It is one of my favorites from Wong Kar-wai. It is a movie that I know that I could that I don't that it's just an experience more than anything. It's an experience. I believe the young people would say it's a vibe and it's just something that just excels in creating an atmosphere and I love this movie so much, man. I'm going to go ahead and give it what I've, you know, gave it since like the second time I watched it. A fucking 10. So, Brad, what is your final verdict?
This film is great story, great cinematography, great direction. I think my second review, it'll probably go up in value for my score because I won't be confused by the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Um, but for this first watch, it's a 9 out of 10 easily.
Yep. You're pretty much at the same place that I was when I first watched it, man. And then I
Yeah,
rewatched it and I was like, oh, yeah. No, I see. I now I know what the fuck is happening. I loving
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah, because I think if you watch this a second time, you definitely get over that confusion because you know what's coming.
Yeah. So with that said, that is our review for Chungking Express. We will be continuing with our Wong Kar-wai Film Month here as we look at Ashes of Time on Monday. It'll be public for you all. And then from there, we're going to go on through the rest of the films that we announced on last episode. But in the meantime, we want to thank you all so much for watching this video and watching this episode. We want to thank all the supporters here. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you leave a like on this video and you subscribe to this channel. But don't forget to click that beautiful notification bell. You don't want to miss a single piece of content that comes to the channel. I promise 2023 is going to be big for us, and you're not going to want to miss a single one of them. We also want to thank you all so much if you're listening to us on audio platforms. Leave a 5-star review. Do that and help us get to, I believe it's 150, so we can submit the show for tomato meter approval. Also, we want to thank everybody who supports us on Patreon. Of course, what's it called? If you want to join us on Patreon, all you need to do is go to www.patreon.com/nerdcore. And there's a lot of cool stuff like, early access, a back catalog, commentaries, reviews, you name it. Go and check it out. We've got all of that stuff there. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I do my shout outs. But for now, I'm going to thank our good old legacy producer, Shane. Brad, where can you find Shane?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/xsrk or on Twitter at thriftedil or go buy something from the Suppy God at Prison City Vintage in Illinois.
Yes, sir. Y'all, what's going on Patreon? We are doing what's it called? Rockamania. So our first commentary drops on Saturday. It's for Rampage. That's gonna be great. I wasn't there for that one, so don't expect to see me on that one. I'm glad because I
Can
do not
you
want
smell?
I don't want to watch that movie again. But yeah, all our other social media is on the little scroller right here. So the Nerdcore _ on Twitter, the Nerdcore on Instagram, www.thenerdcore.com for interviews, reviews, and such. But in the meantime, Brad, it's been a wonderful time. We will see them all on Monday for a review of Ashes of Time. But in the meantime, I'm signing off, Brad. Sit him out.
All right, Raul. Thank you being host as always. Thank to all those who are listening to this in the future or in the present for you, because this is a pre-recording. Kylie, this is a pre-recording. And thank you to all our listeners out there, all our patron supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I'm just gonna say, don't get cucked and buy your ex her shit, especially when she's getting on the back of a bike with her muscular boyfriend. Dumbass. Young Yoda out.
I don't have butt shit.